Look at, oh my God, look at these guns. Holy shit. Hi, I am sex and relationship coach Caitlin B. And today we're going to talk about the intersection between premature ejaculation and erectile dysfunction. And actually, how we're going to specifically talk about this is if you've been working on curing your PE and suddenly you're getting symptoms of erectile dysfunction, ED, what do you do? What the hell's going on? And how can we fix it? Fear not, because I'm here with answers and hope and optimism and joy and maybe some information and maybe a bad joke that you can laugh at or pick your nose to in the privacy of your own home or on the bus that you're watching this video on around strangers or whatever. Listen, judgment-free zone. Okay. So why are we talking about this? Number one, a lot of my clients at one point during our work together experience some loss in hardness, experience a loss in their erectile strength or how easy it is for them to get an erection. And inevitably what'll happen is they'll be like making the most amazing progress, okay? So I work with this guy, he's got premature ejaculation, work with most men for 90 days. That's about the time it takes for me to cure their PE, or for them to cure their PE with my help, I should say. And it's usually about like week 5 to 6. I get a frantic call. Caitlin! Hi, great. No, I'm good. How are you? Listen, I was masturbating last night and suddenly I started to go soft. Like you started to go soft? Yeah, I was at like the 20-minute mark and then all of a sudden I lost like half of my erection. Okay, is this the first time this has happened? Yes, this is the first time. And it can never happen again because my erection is the single most important thing and this must mean that I'm going to lose my erection. I'm going to have erectile dysfunction for the rest of my life even though I'm only 40 years old. What the hell do I do? Don't panic. I'm already panicked. Don't panic. It's okay. I've got you. I'm not playing. That's literally how the conversation goes. And I get it because like the strength of your erection is very closely tied to your sexual performance. And you're working with me, you're trying to cure PE because your sexual performance is important to you. The reason that I beg you not to freak out is because this is normal. This happens. It comes back. Actually, it doesn't just come back, it's never been there before because you've not been able to last for 20 minutes before. Your body doesn't even know how to be aroused and how to be hard for 20 minutes. That's never happened. And guess what? Your body is trying to figure it out. And that's exactly what I'm here to talk to you about today is what's going on and how do we prevent that from happening? And if we can't prevent it from happening right now, how do we make sure it doesn't happen into the future and that it doesn't have to ruin your sex life in the here and now? The most important thing for you to know is that stuff is changing. This is actually not a bad sign at all. It's actually a good sign. It means that your body is changing the way that it experiences arousal, that it experiences sexual stimulation, that it gets to reach orgasm, ejaculation. Your system is changing. It's rewiring. There are going to be some changes that come along with that don't immediately cause a bunch of pleasure and joy, and sometimes can be causes for concern. But listen, it's not a permanent thing. It's not like you're never going to be able to get hard or stay hard for over 20 minutes again. It just means that as your stuff is rewiring, your body's now coming across new challenges. It's coming across new ways of getting excited and aroused that it never has before. Let's not forget to celebrate that you're lasting long enough that this is a problem. Because before, when you were just lasting for 2 or 3 minutes or not even getting to the point of being able to reach penetration, you didn't even know this was a challenge. Like the fact that you now know this is a challenge means that you're no longer suffering from premature ejaculation. When you'd have sex with your girlfriend or your wife, you only had to last like 5 minutes. So you didn't even have to figure out what it was that aroused you. You never had to ask yourself like, why does that turn me on? What if we do this? What if I get dominant with her? What if I kind of like let her get dominant with me? What if I sweet talk her? What if I touch her like this? What if we do this? What if I do that? What if we have dirty talk, etc.? Like you didn't even have to ask those questions to figure out how to be and stay aroused because you weren't lasting long enough for those to even be a consideration. And now, maybe at the age of 30 or 40 or 50 or 60, you're finally having to ask those questions. This is a good thing. You get to be creative. You get to create the sex life of your dreams. And you get to create a sex life that is actually super exciting to you. Not because you can't manage your arousal, but because it's super arousing. And you get to like live in that arousal for extended periods of time. Like Huzzah! Yes, congratulations. Now you get to play with the whole buffet instead of feel like, oh, that's going to be too much. That might be too much. That's going to push me over the edge. Like, it's like you finally unlocked the key and you got access to like the platinum buffet where all the like really yummy options are happening to live. Hell yeah. And keep in mind that the more you freak out, the worse it gets. A lot of men think that erection is caused by brute force. By like, to like think about it and like push it up and like bear down and push the blood in there. And that's actually not how erection happens at all. I highly recommend that you spend a little bit of time like Googling how erection literally works. Like, what is the mechanism? Basically, your body relaxes, it allows blood to flow into the penis where it traps it there, creating pressure and inflating and making the penis hard. That's all it works. But did you notice the word relaxation? Erection happens because you were relaxed enough for blood to enter your penis, not because you forced blood into your penis. Therefore, when you freak out because you've started to lose your erection, you're actually going to make it go away faster instead of bringing it back, because freaking out is an erection killer, and relaxation is like erection fertilizer. Yeah. Fertilizer makes things grow big and strong, and relaxing makes erections grow big and strong. So we'll stick to the fertilizer analogy until I come up with something better. But that's not enough, Caitlin. I get it, fertilizer, erection, but what do I do about it? Because it's causing me a lot of distress, and I totally get that. Number one is be patient. Be patient. You've been masturbating this way for 15, 20, 30, 35 years. You change the way that you masturbate for like 20 or 30 or 40 days, and then you expect that your body's going to be responsive and work exactly as you want it to within like a couple weeks? Like, listen, be patient. This shit changes over time. The way that your body is wired is a process to change and to switch and to move around, and you have to be able to give your body time in order to adjust. So ask yourself, how long has this been going on? Has this been going on for a week? Okay, it's not time to panic. Has it been going on for a month? Okay, body's still rewiring. Has it been going on for longer than a month? Okay, then maybe you need to change the way that you're practicing. So if you're familiar with my videos, if you watch my channel and you already know some of the practices that I have created for you to cure your premature ejaculation, then maybe you need to switch them up. You need to figure out which practice that you are engaged in that is maybe decreasing your level of overall arousal. It could just be that one of the practices feels like a lot of work. And when sex starts to feel like a lot of work, you start to get turned off. And when you start to get turned off, you lose your erection. It might be that you've stopped watching porn, and porn used to be like a shortcut to erection for you. And maybe that means that you just reintroduce porn. I recommend that you introduce just one actress and really like focus on one woman as if you were just having sex with her. But regardless of how you introduce porn, maybe that's the reason that you're not able to get and maintain an erection, is because you're no longer taking in all of this visual stimulation. And that's perfectly okay. Like, don't beat yourself up about it. Just change the practices. And I only recommend that you change your practices if this has been going on for a while, like more than 30 days without any kind of change. Maybe even more than 60 or 90 days. Seriously, give your body a lot of time before you panic. Use the same relaxation techniques that I have taught you in other videos in order to deal with your premature ejaculation. Like, relaxation is relaxation is relaxation. Those techniques are good, not just at curing PE, but also at allowing you to get an erection when you've lost one or when you've started to go soft. Another thing you can do is stop masturbating and start again tomorrow. Like, your body is not used to sustaining that level of erection. Not all masturbation sessions have to end in ejaculation. You could say, you know what, I'm gonna cut it here. If I had been having sex with my woman, we would have already been having sex for 20 minutes. I'm just gonna stop, and I'm gonna pick up again where I left off tomorrow. This is actually not a bad practice if you're trying to last longer in bed. And then finally, remember your goals. Like, why is it that you wanna last longer in bed? Why is it that you wanna cure your premature ejaculation? Is it because you want to be able to last long enough to give your partner an orgasm through penetration? And if you're lasting 20 minutes before you start to go a little bit soft, that is enough time to give her an orgasm. So if you've already hit the goal, then you've hit the goal. Like, congratulations, you've done it. Remind yourself why you're doing this to begin with. You weren't curing your PE so that you could, slay dragons with your cock after 90 minutes, okay? You were doing it so that you could last long enough, so that you could make sex pleasurable, so that you could feel confident in the bedroom. And I understand that your erection strength is part of confidence, but if you've already hit your goal, you don't need to keep pushing further and further and further to become a sex god. Like, the way to become a sex god after you have your 20 minutes, after you've developed that confidence, is by being a better lover. Like, that's it. You don't need to have like a monster hard erection that you can bonker over the head with after the half-hour mark. Like, understand that you've met your goal already, and now you can work on relaxation techniques, you can work on other techniques, you can work on figuring out what really turns you on. I have a sense that most of the time the challenge is actually, like, I've never had to figure out how to be aroused for 20 minutes with my wife of 15 years. How do I actually get and maintain and stay aroused after I've stopped worrying that I'm going to ejaculate sooner than I wanted to? The good news is, my friend, that the world is your oyster. There is a sexual smorgasbord out there for you to learn about and enjoy, and let that arouse you. Maybe you want to get kinky. Maybe you want to have some like tantra, mind, body, slow, sacred sex. Maybe it's something in the middle. Maybe it's something in between. Maybe it's that you want to try some different and interesting sexual practices, such as pegging or a three-way with two other guys. I mean, the world is literally, well, perhaps not literally, but the world is definitely your oyster. And you're going to find that when you allow yourself to experience all the different things that arouse you, there's going to be a lot of things out there that arouse you. So, to recap, bring it all back together. If you are following along with this channel, if you are doing the work to end your premature ejaculation and you find yourself losing your erection, do not panic. This is indicative of your body actually succeeding at changing its patterns and its way of reaching ejaculation. So congratulations. Don't worry, it's not going to last forever, and instead it's going to give you an opportunity to explore other things that turn you on and arouse you, so that you can enjoy the same sex life of those men who were able to last this amount of time the whole time. Like, they have the same challenge too. So don't worry, this doesn't make you abnormal. It actually makes you quite normal, and it opens up a whole nother world of opportunities. And by the way, congratulations on no longer suffering from premature ejaculation. Like, huzzah, you win, you did it, this is amazing. And now you get to do some other work on figuring out what works for you. Before you leave, before we wrap up, I'd like to ask you to please give me a thumbs up if you like this video, if you like this channel, subscribe, follow me, apply to work with me one-on-one, so that you can have the best sex life.